if you can hear me and if you can see me. If you can type it into the text box, the chat box, that'd be awesome. Thank you. Hi, Renee. How are you doing? Danielle, Katerina. Hello, Katerina. Laureen, Leslie, Rhonda. Perfect. Everybody can hear me. Perfect. Hi, Michelle. I remember your name. How are you doing? Sutli, welcome. Perfect. Lori, welcome. Daniela. I'm doing good, Michelle. Thank you. Hope everyone else is doing well as well. Woo! Almost lost my tablet there. Okay, sorry. Okay, perfect. So everyone, Lisa, perfect. Pauline, Lisa. So we still have, I'm going to wait about a minute or two because we did have quite a few that had registered for this webinar. We do get, you do get a reminder a minute before. So we're just going to wait just to see if people are trying to log in. In the meantime, I know there's a lot of people visiting from different places in the US and Canada. Hello, Paramjeet. Welcome. Tracy, that name's familiar too, Tracy Rondeau. I might have remembered you from past webinars too, maybe. A lot of these names come, I remember either from conversations on Instagram or so forth, emails. So my brain is a little slow as I get older, sadly, but I try to remember as many people as I've had communication with. So that's also awesome. Okay, so hopefully everyone's doing well. Here, I'm in Canada, I'm in Ontario, specifically Richmond Hill, if you are from Ontario or Toronto, and it's pretty sunny outside, but the temperature has dropped again. We're expecting another snowfall. But for me, born and raised in Canada, it's expected that just before spring, we get that snow. So, but I'm glad the sun is out. So that's good. Etobicoke. Yes, I have friends in Etobicoke. Nice area. We always go by the lakeshore there. It's beautiful with the water and you can see the Toronto skyline. It's really nice. Okay, so we're gonna give it until 1:03 and then we can start because we have, hello, we can't see the video. If you have an issue seeing the video, make sure that your platform, like what you're on, if there's a camera icon to turn it, not your camera, to turn on my camera, but that might not work. You might have to exit or refresh your page in order to be able to see the video because I believe everybody else said they're able to see the video. So just refresh your page. If the refreshing your page doesn't work, exit and then come back in, like join the link, re-click the link. Okay, so try that, Paramjeet, and let me know if that was okay. Everybody else can see me, right? Hopefully. Hi, Laurie, no worries. Yes, it will be recorded. And remember, all our webinar recordings are put up onto our Reflectosol education site. So if you didn't get to complete it, no worries. You'll be able to watch it. Hi, Katerina. Welcome. Welcome from Austria. So Katerina is straight from Reflectosol in Austria. So we love having her on the webinars. Yes, you're welcome, Lori. Okay, so you're welcome, Katerina. So what we'll do is that we're going to start now because we do have a demo today, even though I'm talking very briefly on how to elevate your lash services. And we said lash services, but you could use this as well for your brow services too to elevate them. So always think wider on a wider scale. Welcome, Teresa. It's good afternoon here, but good morning if it's morning for you. Hi, Sophia. Glad you can be here today. Awesome. Thank you, Sophia. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick little intro for those who might not know who I am or might be your first time signing on to one of these webinars. So my name is Chrissy, and I am the lead trainer for North America. So I do all these trainings, all these webinars. You might see my face on the webinars, or maybe at a trade show when we were able to do trade shows. But I have a real passion for Refecticil, love educating it, and love sharing that education and passion with all of you as beauty professionals who will love using Refecticil in your salons or spas, okay? So that's briefly about me. I do have an aesthetic background as well. So sometimes on my own time, I do some aesthetic services too, but my passion's for the eyes and the brows. Awesome. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is how to elevate your lash services. And as I had mentioned before, this is going to be, think of a wider scale. It's going to be as well for your brows too, but we want to think about how we can just not just do a lash lift. How can we make that lash lift also an experience for your client that's different from where else they would have went before, and how to incorporate some of even your retail items into that service so that they are buying them after they're done. Okay, so good morning, Pooja. Welcome. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And the two main items that we're going to mostly focus on, because we know we can elevate our lash services by doing a brow tint, right? If we don't just want to do a lash lift, we want to upsell and to add on that service of a brow lift or a brow tint, because that complete package of what we do to their brows and their lashes will create that like total look, will give them that refreshness that they need. And you know what? Summer season is coming as well. So it would be great for those days on the beach and so forth, by the pool, to have that put together look, but with no makeup. Okay, so the two items that we're going to talk about are, Botswana. Welcome, Shamima. I do have a friend in Botswana. Welcome. And Chicago. I'm seeing a lot of different areas too that I haven't seen previously. So this is awesome. Thank you for joining with us. So the two products are our eye care pads. You might have seen some posts that we've been putting up for the eye care pads. So this is how the box comes, with a pack of 10 of these eye care pads. So we're going to talk about how to incorporate these in your services, as well as the good old protection cream. So if you haven't been using this for your regular tinting and so forth, you need to purchase it, because you're going to see how you can elevate your lash services with this as well. Okay. So these are the two products we're going to mostly focus on, and then remind you about some other products that you might be missing in the line when you're doing a lash lift. So once again, if you're not beginner, but if you're new at Refecticil, don't know much about Refecticil, we briefly want to do a little introduction about Refecticil. It's the world leading brand since 1930. So they've been around for over 75 years, and it's comes from Austria. So it's prominently represented in more than 65 countries, and it might be even more right now, but we're reaching many more countries with this product as the go-to for lash and brow styling. Okay, so this brand has been recognized by millions of people who are using this product already in their salons and spas. And I always mention in my webinars when I'm at trade shows, that's the first thing I hear. Even on some of these webinars, people will tell me, I've been using it for 15, 20 years. It is my go-to for tinting. It is my go-to now for lash lifting, because back then there was probably like the perming that was coming out, but not as the innovation right now with these silicone pads. So the nice thing about Refecticil expanding their services within the eye and brow area is amazing, because they're keeping up with the trends as well. And that way you use the complete system of Refecticil in your salon and spa. So it's awesome for this brand. And I always say too, if it's been around for over 75 years and it's got this great reputation, when you're comparing with other brands, when you're trying to decide what you should carry, this for me is a big thing, because I know I'm going to have the proper support that I need from the brand, as well. It's the quality, right, that has made this brand very, very outstanding. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sophia. Thank you for your comment. Okay, so our lashes, we know they're the ultimate symbol of glamour, because we want them long, full, and dark. And as beauty professionals, we are able to provide that to our clients, right? When we give them those full, long lashes, what are the results? Their eyes appear bigger. The look becomes fresh and more open. And think about that second bullet point when we say the look becomes fresh and more open, that you can incorporate as well the male clientele too. Perfectly styled around the clock. As I mentioned, summer season's coming. It's hot. You don't want to be wearing so much makeup. And then as well for even the colder season with the snow and so forth, you want something that's going to be waterproof and great that will last. And also an instant facelift. If you haven't noticed that, when you do a lash lift and of course also brow lamination, but just a lash lift too, because the lashes are getting that nice length going upwards, it's making the eyes elevated as well. So you're having that instant face look lift without any invasive treatment. So that's awesome too. Okay. So let's see, Sophia, about the new formulation of the lash glue. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yes, the new lash glue will make it easier to apply and to get those lashes to stick on. So I'm glad that you enjoy it. I will be using the new lash glue today too, as well as I will be using the new lash lifter. So if you haven't seen our posts, we do have the new lash lifter and with a nice brush on the other end. So I'll be using these there we go. And then that end. Okay, so this is awesome. We'll be having these very soon, and we're hoping all the distributors will try and bring this in, whoever's carrying Reflecticil, so that you can get that in your hands and use in the salon and spa as well. Awesome. Thanks for the feedback. Any feedback you had, give it to us, because we have Katerina on here too. So it will help for them to know directly from you guys what you're liking about Reflecticil. Okay, so we talked about, we're going to make the lashes appear darker, longer, fuller. But the question is, how can you add value to your current lash lift services? Well, that's when we start talking about now our repair and care by Reflecticil, which is these pads, these amazing, amazing pads. I've used them myself. I walk around home with them and for 20, 30 minutes. Awesome product. So the trend, we know that this fleece and gel pad masks for the face and eyes have become a major trend over the past few years. I don't know if you even noticed on trade shows when eye care pads come out, you see people walking around with them with collagen treatments and so forth. And now it's become an intrinsic part of the market. And you can see there's a lot of companies have come out with having these eye care pads available instead of just having a eye cream. Okay. So now, because of that, we saw the trend, or Reflecticil saw the trend. Now they were able to come out with their product. And their little saying here, because I care, right? For your eyes. We care for our clients' eyes. We care for the skin around the eyes. And that's going to be a great way how to elevate your lash services by giving them an eye treatment. Okay. So at the beginning, when you've prepped their skin, when you've cleansed everything, you've done your prep work, you apply these eye care pads. You can also use them as well to isolate the bottom lashes. We always talk about using the black silicone pads. What I would do if you still want to use the black silicone pads, I would start first by applying those to hold down the bottom lashes, roll your lashes up onto the silicone pads, remove that black silicone pad, and then place your eye care pads. But if they work okay with you placing the eye care pads directly on the bottom lashes, they can stay on there the whole time of your service to be giving them an eye care treatment. Okay. So the new Reflecticil eye care pads help you to take the lash styling by Reflecticil to the next level and turn your treatment into a special experience with wellness factor and the premium service for clients. So obviously this could also be a little bit like if you're going to raise a little bit your price to reflect the cost for these kits or for these eye care pads, or some will just leave it as something free to throw in. But you always have to check your your budget, your so forth, your revenue, and see, are you able to offer free or maybe elevate a little bit your price to reflect that you're offering them this premium service. Okay, so the eye care pads function as an intensive mask during a treatment and offer added value to a normal lash tint or a lash lift. So use them when I'm talking about lashes here, we talk about tinting, we talk about lifting, but even if you were to do a brow lamination, a brow shaping, and a brow tint, I would still pop these onto their eyes and give them a treatment, because you're going to try and elevate all your lash services, refractive services, not just to be basic, but to get them to that premium level. Okay. Extra 5. Yeah, usually we say 5, depending what the cost is, between $3 to $5 more extra upon your service. That's awesome that you're doing that. So that you understand that value, right, of adding this service to your client. So perfect. Thank you, Tina. Eye care pads can also be used to offer a special add-on treatment for all other, as I mentioned, refractive treatments, and letting a client choose their own complete wellness package. So as I mentioned, you can add these on to all your other refractive treatments. Okay. 10 of them, Terry. Welcome, Terry. 10 of them come in a pack. Okay. Hi, Terry. Hope all is well, Terry. You're welcome. Okay, so now getting to know what's inside these eye care pads. Hyaluron and highly concentrated aloe vera and vitamin E. These three main ingredients are going to provide that intense moisture, that deeper treatment than a regular, say it only had vitamin E in your eye cream. This is going to be more of an intense, deeper treatment. Allantoin, it helps with the skin smoothing, so helping with those little fine lines. And then a refreshing effect. You can also put it in the fridge for a couple of minutes, and then when your client comes, take it out, because that cooling effect feels really good as well for even depuffing the eye area. Okay. And also you're going to use it as a way to protect the eye area during a lash and brow styling. So when you're like tinting and so forth, it's going to protect from any staining and onto the skin. So it's a really good product to use. As I said, I've been using it myself and love the way that it feels. A little bit of extra about these ingredients, just in case we kept it really, really brief. We have a little bit extra. So vitamin E oil is an ingredient used in many skincare products for its moisturizing benefits, as we mentioned, and helping the skin look more youthful and less wrinkled by sealing in moisture. So be able to just say, don't tell your client, you know what, I'm just going to take these eye care pads and I'm putting eye care pads on you. Tell them what's going to be happening. Tell them the main ingredients. Kind of educate your client too, because this is going to be also a retail item, can be a retail item for you to sell and they could use at home. Okay. So, and then when you also, it acts as an antioxidant, so it keeps the lipids fresh in your skin. And then when you pair it with the hyaluron, you'll have an even more dramatic hydrating effect, as it fortifies the skin's natural barriers to help lock in moisture. So you see that theme. We want to lock in that moisture so that we can keep this area at bay from feeling dry and fine lines appearing. Okay. Then you take those two ingredients and you pair them with the aloe, which acts as an anti-inflammatory. So that's really good to depuff as well, and also has shown results in decreasing dark circles around your eye area. So once again, if it becomes I think I went blurry. Sorry about that. Oh, there we go. If it becomes a retail item, the customer has more effect of this at home as well. So let your clients know that this is what you're applying to their eyes, and mention the benefits, and they'll be looking in their next visit to be in that bed to get these services done. Okay. Terry, would you know if Nails R Us has a new glue formulation by? Yes, they should have the new glue, Terry, because we don't have the old glue anymore. It's just the new glue. So they should have it in stock. Yes. Okay, applying it. So here we just have the pictures of how to use it in your versatile uses, right? So when you're lash styling, when you're tinting. Okay, awesome, Terry. Yeah. Call them first if you want. Call them first and ask if they have, but they should have them in. So lash styling, so when you're tinting, lash lifting when you're lifting, brow styling when you're tinting, and home use. So these are your 4 ways that you can use these eye care pads. Very, very, very easy to execute. You're going to have a clean, dry eye area, because it should be free from any oils. And then you're going to remove the plastic liner. So once you open that little purple packaging, inside there's a plastic liner that you're going to remove, and then you're able to apply the pads. Press the pads gently underneath the eye area, with the gel side down, because that's gel side is what's going to have all the ingredients to be able to penetrate into the eye. And then continue with your lash styling services as that stays on there. If your services are half an hour, so forth, you'll have that full benefit, because we want to leave it for about 20 to 30 minutes on there, okay? And then gently remove pads after 20, 30 minutes. And as I mentioned, for a tip, for a more intense refreshment, keep your Reflectisol eye care pads in the fridge just before you're going to have your client to come in to do the service, so that you have that added freshness on, okay? So that's the first thing, okay, to elevate your lash services or any other services. But today we're going to demo the lash lift. So how else can we elevate our lash services? Well, remember when I mentioned our beautiful protection cream, okay? How can we utilize this as well to be more effective? So, sorry, I just lost my slide. So apply the Reflectisol Skin Protection Cream and Eye Mask. So this has trio benefit. It's a protection cream. Okay, so when you're tinting, you can line the area so you avoid unnecessary staining onto the skin. You know, you want to avoid any irritation to clients. If they're very sensitive, you don't want the tint be touching their skin. So you're going to use this as a protection barrier. And then you're going, the second thing you're going to use it as for is an eye mask treatment. So this one as well can be used as an eye mask treatment when you're using the protection paper. So if you still have those protection papers and haven't incorporated yet the eye care pads, you can use this to get those protection papers to stay and also give a treatment. And Janny, if I'm correct, you said you love this product. You know what? Sorry, every time I move the camera it gets blurry. I even use this if I have some leftover on my glove or whatever. After I move my gloves, I just use that to massage. Like this is a really good product even for your hands. Keeps them smooth throughout the day because we're constantly washing our hands, right? And disinfecting them. So it's a beautiful product. And then the third thing you're going to use this for is as a massage cream. So as you see in the little section there, you're going to use this like a massage cream and gently massage the skin area around the eye and brows. And then you're going to, it has the vitamin E, aloe vera, and sweet almond oil, which are going to provide a rich and intensive care while you're doing that massage as well. So they've had that nice, deep, intense treatment on their eye. Now they're going to have that nice feeling around their cheekbones, wherever you're going to do the massage. Their temples are going to have that refreshed skin with that care. And so these are 3 natural, high-quality ingredients that nurture the skin. So offer your customers an eye massage as a free service because it only takes you about a minute. You're not using your cost for this as pennies because you're not applying too much. It's pretty rich. Because your customers are going to remember this. Not a lot of people are offering a massage after a tint, after a lash lift and so forth. And what are these massage techniques? Well, you have the following. You have 6 steps. So the first steps, and you have like your straight lines that you're doing more of that, kind of like that drainage feeling when you're pressing down and pushing the skin, pulling the skin, not pulling the skin, but massaging the skin. And then you have your circular motions, right? And we're focusing all around the brow area here too. You can even do the temple, but we're focusing on this area. And then you have, once again, the arrows to around, but then you start to get into your other areas here, okay? We want to be able to get the cheekbone to massage this area as well. And when you have the dots, you see each movement has a different look. So it has dots, it has straight lines. When you're doing the dots, you do these nice, we say tapotement movements, okay? So you're going to tap around, you're going to stimulate that blood cell, the blood as well, and that it starts to refresh and go up to the skin, right? So that's going to give them a nice smooth skin as well. So apply these 6 movements. And what I didn't mention at the beginning of the webinar is if you click on your right-hand screen event board, and you click on that, you're going to see the files that you can download from consent forms, from steps on how to do a lash lift, and also these massage techniques. Okay, so you'll have these to apply. And once again, I'll show this with my model today on how you can do it. And it doesn't have to take too long. That minute or 2 minutes that you take your time to do this on your client, it sets you apart differently from anybody else, and they will speak highly of you because, like I said, you took that basic treatment and made it a premium treatment, okay? and they're going to experience nothing like they have before, and they're going to want to come back, and they're also going to voice it out to other people and be referencing you to other people as well. Okay, so, and never forget aftercare. So if you haven't been using an aftercare product, you always need to end your services with aftercare. So obviously you're going to start off first with your prep. You're going to put your eye care pads to give that treatment. You're going to do your services. You're going to end your service with your aftercare. Either you can do the massage first and then put the aftercare afterwards. And this aftercare is the styling gel. So I know from showcasing this a lot in webinars, a lot of people have went out and purchased it, even tried it on themselves first before they go and they try it onto their customers, or buy a couple and maybe give one to a customer, because it is a retail item as well. So if you have a really good regular customer but needs this aftercare because the tint doesn't last on them very long or so forth, you can get them to try it. But because I've been mentioning this a lot and many people have been trying it, we've gotten some really good emails of people loving this product. So it's perfect. I think Renee, you can answer that one for Trisha, correct? For the Caribbean? So you don't really want to use this stuff on eyelash extensions, because then it could prevent from those extensions lasting that they should do because of the glue. So this is really good to use it afterwards, because you also have the false lash, so it's really hard to apply it on, and it could affect the glue. And then they will be coming back sooner saying my lashes didn't last as long. This is a good in-between their break that they have if they want to give a break for their lashes. But also this is really good for the brows. We don't want to neglect the brows too, because we do tend to do stuff to our brows too. We tint them, especially now with the brow lamination. This product will provide hydration. For the tinting, it's going to help seal in that tint, so that customer who maybe was back in 5 days, because it depends on the products they're using at home. If they're very oily base, if they didn't wait for 24 hours before they use something that has oil in it, if they went right away and put makeup on, you should be waiting 24 hours to be able to start doing something, because then the hair has closed up and sealed. But for some people, if they don't follow these protocols, this product would be their security, that they take home and they use it every morning to be able to seal in that treatment. And then they don't have to come back in 5 days and complain that the tint didn't last. So you as a professional should be using this after every service that you do of lashes or brows. When it comes to lifting, tinting, or so forth, you should end it with this, with a disposable mascara wand, put it on, seal it in, and then they're good to go. But also let them know what you did. Sorry, I went blurry again. Let your client know what you did. Give me 1 second. Not quite sure why the camera is acting up today. Let them know what you've applied as an aftercare, because once you let them know for retail products that you use on them and they've experienced and they know how it feels, it makes it also easier to sell it afterwards. Okay. I suppose if you're not using it, they're not having a taste of it to know, like a taste on their skin to know how it works, it's going to be hard to sell a retail product. Okay. Also, between a brow lamination service, the brow lamination might not last as long, the brows, and they might start to fall down a little bit after like reaching the fourth, fourth week. This can be a good in-betweener to hold those brows up before you get to your next brow lamination service. So I use this every morning. I put it on my lashes, on my brows to hydrate them, to protect them, and in general, just to protect them from the environment, from the sun, almost like a sunscreen too. Okay. So Renee, I don't know if you're still on here, but Trisha had a question. I'm not quite sure if you were able to help her. That would be awesome. Sorry, we haven't forgot about you, Trisha. Okay, and then I added on here again the profitability, which I also put it on the event board. Just some people always ask me in all the webinars, well, how much do you charge for a lash lifting? And also to know how much revenue you can get back from a kit that you've purchased. So for example, if you're in the US or Canada, I have both prices there. So if you're in the US, $139.95, and then you spend about 45 minutes to an hour for a lash lift, about $70 to $90 you charge. You should be able, so if I take if you do about 30 to 36 applications, usually, we range about 30, because depending on how thick the lashes are, but also if you're using the same kit for brows, your solutions go by quicker. But with the 30 application and take it times it by 70, the base price for the lash lift, you can do about 2,100 revenue with one kit. So a client and a half, you've made that kit back, and then you're plus your revenue. So the cost of lash lift can range between 90 to 125 as a complete lash service. So obviously you want to kind of give them a discount if you combo a price. If you combo a service with with a lash lift and a lash tint, you usually have like a $5 to $10 savings, so that you can encourage them to do more than just a lash lift if they came. Now they're doing a tint as well. Okay. Also, you can add between $3 to $6 if you wish to cover costs per supply of the eye care pads. So if you wish that you do want to cover the cost for these, then you can 10 minutes. Yeah, you can, sorry, my model's waiting. You can add that additional cost. Okay. The Care Balm has, okay, so if they only apply to the tips of the lash extension, it should be safe. I've used it with my extensions. Okay, Sophia, just as long as you're sure about it, because the last thing you don't want is customers coming back and complaining and saying, well, they said I could use the Reflectisil. We could use this product. But so if you felt that after the 24 hours that you use this put on your lash extensions and it was okay. Now, if you're putting it on the tips only, you're not getting the benefit of the whole hair as well. That's why I'm wondering if it's a little iffy doing it on when you already have lash extensions on, right? But the Care Balm, that has castor oil and a bunch of other rich plant oils. So that's going to probably break down the glue. Okay. So I would not suggest that, that you use the castor oil on lash extensions. I only use it, okay, when I'm going out on my extensions. Okay, as long as you felt that it didn't affect them. I'm not quite sure there's so many different glues out there for lash extensions. Maybe you have a really good one and it's been helping. It's been okay, but maybe with the different types of glues out there, maybe it might affect it negatively, or some of them will be positively. I'm not quite sure. Maybe Katerina, if you have an answer to that. Let's see. There's a big message here from Terry. I have been giving this service for a few years now and love it. I am beyond particular, and my clients love it because their lashes are always even, and the treatment works even better since I switched to using Reflectisil products. Questions? Awesome. Thank you for the feedback, Terry. So, do you personally do services? As I myself would love to have it done, and I can't think of anyone else. You meaning if you want me to personally do it for you? At the moment, I don't. But if you ever want to visit our education center here, I don't mind getting it done on you, since you're pretty close. I hope I answered it right. Sorry. To set and separate your lashes. Okay, sometimes they get stuck together, right? Okay, I do lash extensions, and I wouldn't recommend using this on extension client. Okay, no worry, Lori, no worry. Oh, so many questions. Sorry. So see, once again, Sophia, Tina, it varies. It varies on if you've tried it yourself, if you tried it on especially the products you're using for lash lifts. I mean, for lash extensions. If you're trying it on lash extensions from somebody else who did it for you, and you're visiting someone different, it's a different glue, it's a different product, it's a different hair. I don't know how to explain it, but it might affect differently for different brands and different glues, right? Right now we have Tina, who says that she wouldn't recommend it when you have lash extensions on. Maybe with her expertise or her glues or whatever she uses, it doesn't work effectively. Once again, we don't want to take away the value of a service, right? This is supposed to be an aftercare treatment when it comes to your tinting and lifting, okay, for lashes and brows. But as long as I'm not what's the word called? I'm not saying no or yes or this, but I'm giving the precaution that it could affect. So it's up to your discretion. So hopefully that helps. Katerina, no. Okay. So hopefully that answered. So, okay. So we have that. And then also when we have the, yeah, Terry, connect with me on if you message me on my brow, it's so connect with me and we can discuss that. Okay, thanks, Henrietta. My lifeline. Sorry. Okay, so then I put on here as well for tinting. You might have seen these before. You might have. I just like to put them so people who are new here can understand that out of one tube that you can do 30 applications of tinting, you can make 600 plus revenue, right? Out of your tinting. Add on these nice ways to elevate your service. You know, we say between $20 to $40, you're lifting your tinting for your lashes and your brows can be, but you could elevate a little bit more from using these aftercare or these products during your treatment. Okay. Okay. So benefits. So how does it benefit the salon? It benefits by increasing customer loyalty. You will have much more clients coming to you because of that word of mouth. That client that maybe was a new client of yours that started doing these services will definitely stay with you because you're offering this quality, this premium service that nobody else has done to them. So you're keeping that client secure to be with you and you create that loyalty with them. It benefits the customers and they are given the ultimate lash service with an added touch of a spa treatment. So you're giving them that spa treatment, right? Because when you're giving them massage afterwards and so forth, they can feel like it's a spa-like experience. Okay. Okay, so that's it for the presentation, but we do have more educational opportunities. As you know, I always show these at the end. We do have our 2 webinars that are in. I'm going to try hopefully get new ones for May and June. May and June. Sorry, I lost my dates. May and June. But for April 12th, we have Lash Styling by Reflectisol Lash Curl. So we do have that lash curl kit that we don't want to neglect and forget, and how it can help to give glamour to the eyes as well, and be able to offer 2 different looks, right? And then also April 19th, how to increase your salon revenue with Reflectisol Lash and Brow Styling. That can be also helpful if you want to know each service, how it's bringing in your revenue or each products that we're using. One of my clients has purchased a brow tint products on Amazon. So Wilhelmina, this is a difficult thing to manage. We can't control it, as unfortunately. So when I get calls of people calling me and telling me I bought this product, can you help me? I can right away tell if they're professional or not, because they're asking me such basic questions that if you're a professional, you should know how to do this. So I ask them, are you a professional? When they tell me they're not, I have to refrain from giving them any tips. And I always try to coach them into going and seeing the professional. Because once again, it is a professional item that should be used and not 14-year-olds at home doing YouTube videos with it. But unfortunately, it's really hard for us to monitor that. Okay. I would let your customer know that it's best that they avoid doing it at home and doing it with you as a professional, because you can provide that care for them. You can provide the proper before and after steps, your care and so forth, that they will maintain it better and longer, but as well, they won't have any effect to their eyes or their skin if they're being very unprofessional with using it. Okay. Do you offer CE hours? Is that to get your accreditation or so forth for schooling? We don't, unfortunately, but check with any distributor. This is for the US, I'm thinking. Check with any of your distributor and in the US, and some might. I hope that's what you were asking, Jenny. Here we're selling the kits to clients over COVID. I know, Michelle, a lot of them were doing that for home care, which also made it, you see how long COVID's been dealing. And then when salons reopened, people were like, well, I'm going to just do this at home and continue doing this at home. So yes, it did strip away from salons, services by doing this. I wasn't particularly a what's the word called, strong advocate for this, here, take the Reflectisol and start doing it at home, but I would focus on the retail items and be like, here, listen, use these aftercare during COVID, and when you come back in, you'll have the most amazing lashes or brows that when we start redoing these services, I try to give them that hope. Yes, come back when we reopen. Once again, that was hard. Oh, thank you, Katarina, for answering that. We were looking into it, and we got Renee. The Reflectisol Amazon stores officially from Reflectisol? Nope, nope, nope. They're not. Okay, so hopefully we're able to answer your questions. Okay, so now we have also for for Quran Lab for waxing. We do host these trainings as well. So please tune into them if you want a great wax to work with. This one's going to be specifically about Brazilian, nice film wax that goes very thin, removes without breaking, very flexible, pliable. It's an amazing product to be used. Can be removed all those vellus hairs too when you're doing facial waxing. There we go. Michelle knows. If you haven't tried Brazilian, it's amazing. There we go. Straight from the mouth of Michelle. Okay, awesome. And then our CBON, our infection control. So we do teach about proper protocols and so forth for the infection control in whatever industry you're in to help you navigate through COVID and so forth and be able to, according to the Canadian guidelines, to be able to offer the best possible what's the word called services when your clients do come back in. So it's very important, even for North America, if the guidelines, the product that we're teaching in this infection control is different from what's in the US, but the steps and so forth for the highest standards of infection control, this training will help you a lot. And if you're a hairstylist too, because a lot of hairstylists were a little bit scared during COVID time because they didn't know how to navigate through it and they didn't know proper protocols for infection control. So it's free and you can check it out and you do get a certificate after it, which is great for your clients to see that you were doing something during COVID. You were able to provide a safe environment for them. Okay. Lastly is our contest. After each of the webinars, I do offer a contest. The one thing I have to mention, though, and it's kind of on a sad note, it's only for North America. Okay, so if you're from any other country, unfortunately, the contest will not benefit you. I'm so sorry about that. But for this contest, if you want to win the following items to start adding value to your lash services, which are your eye care pads, your pack of 10, and then also your protection cream, your styling gel. Well, what you have to do is follow these 3 steps. Follow us on Instagram, Reflectisol North America and Barista by Reflectisol. Like us on Facebook and leave reviews. I saw some wonderful reviews. If you leave reviews there, I enter your name as well in the contest. And then post on Instagram why you love Reflectisol, anything about Reflectisol, anything you want to say on Instagram about us, post a picture, post yourself, anything. But don't forget to use the hashtag Elevate Your Lash Services. It's very important because then I know that you are entering this contest. If you don't put that hashtag, I won't know. Okay. So the contest ends April 11th. So please start posting. Let me enter you guys into this wonderful contest and get these products in your hands. Okay. And then I'm going to look at the questions you guys have. Sorry, I'm going to get to you, Teresa. Give me 1 second. Also, this is our last slide here. Stalk us on social media. Follow us on Instagram. I already mentioned the 2 accounts. Like us on Facebook, Reflectisol North America. Review us. Reviews are always great. It could be about the product. It could be about me. It could be about the webinars. Anything we have to adjust for you guys, let us know. And then visit our educational website. Even though it still says it's under construction, don't worry. We're still adding stuff to it and you can still access it. We're just letting you know that if you see some pages that are blank, don't worry, we're getting to it. And it's going to become more easier for you guys to find information that will help you towards the services. And then for any assistance that you need, any help that you need on education, any troubleshooting, you can reach me at education@cbongroup.com. Okay, awesome. So we're going to get to the live demo, but before we do that, Teresa had a question. I have been trying to purchase a lash lift kit from my local supplier, and they have been out for a while and don't expect them in for a few more weeks. Do you know what others? I will get back to you. I'm going to write that down for you, Teresa, and I will get back to you because they are actually our main one there that you mentioned that they should have it. So I can check with them to see how soon they are going to have these. Let me pin this. Give me 1 second. Okay, I pinned your comment, and I'll get back to you on that a few minutes ago. And they said a couple of weeks. Curl and tint kit, but the glue was solid and oxidized was hot. Okay, give me 1 second. There's another question here. Give me. I purchased a curl and tint kit. Okay, so the two concerns that we have on here from Trisha and Teresa, can you please email me here? Especially for the one that also had some issues with it. Can you please email me at education@CBUN Group? Both Teresa and Trisha, please email me here and I will assist you after the webinar so I can just get back to the demo, okay? I don't want to forget to help you. Okay. I'm not quite sure if they have as well, Audrey, the complete kits. That's why I wanted to see, check with the distributors, but yes, you can try them as well. Okay, so I'm going to switch the camera. So you won't see me or hear me for a couple of minutes. Don't worry, I'm still here. So just give me a couple of minutes to switch up the cameras, okay? Can everyone hear me and see the screen, like the model? I'm going to zoom it in. Just going to give me a minute, but if everybody can see that, just let me know. I think it's zoomed in a lot now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still working on that, Renee. It's because it's an app that I have to open that will adjust the camera. So it takes time, especially on my laptop. Oh. I'm quite sure it's a little blurry.
Maybe the model's blurry.
I was like, maybe because like it was too far off, too far. There we go. How does that look? Is that okay? Not able to see. But everybody else can see? Okay, everyone can see. Audrey, try and reload your page if you're having a hard time seeing. I had to reload mine as well when I switched the cameras, so I wasn't able to see before. So try and see if you can see. Great. Awesome. Thank you, Katarina. You can use a reclining chair. Yep. Usually when you have them laying on the bed, it's more comfortable for them, but I try, well, it's not elevated. I have a pillow underneath too to keep a little bit elevated. Gloves on there that were like nicer than these ones, that's okay. Okay, so I'm just getting myself ready. Audrey still? Oh my God, ripped. Audrey, you still can't see, so what I would do is I would exit and then come back in, like exit and re-click the link. Because everybody else can see. So Audrey, let me know when you go back out and you come back in, let me know.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So we're gonna have to do the prep work with the model. Today's lash lift, Lisa. It's a lash lift. The lash curl will be on April, what did I say, 12th? Okay, so I'm going, oh, Kippy, do you have that? I make thank you. Okay, so we're gonna prep. You're welcome, Lisa. We're gonna prep with the eye makeup remover. Okay. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so the wonderful effect, benefits of it being micellar, of it being lash strengthening and non-oily. Okay. Okay, so we have that. Sorry for the blurriness of the camera when it gets, I think it's the quick movement of the product. Everyone can still hear me, correct? I'm gonna see if I have my volume up high. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to, and what we can show too, I could show the brow as well. Let me take a little bit of the brows too, Kippy. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to clean the eye area. And the brow area. Perfect. And that was with the eye makeup remover, just in case. Oh, Renee says, hi, Kippy, I'm jealous. One day, Renee, one day when you can come visit. Okay, and then we're going to do the saline solution. Remember, this is an important step to your lash lifting, tinting, anything. Have this as your second step to degrease, to remove anything that might be left over in this on the skin, even from the eye makeup remover. Okay, you'll get crisper results even with your tinting. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. Okay, perfect. So we did that. I'm just gonna get a disposable mascara on just to brush out the lashes. Just to separate them a little. Because as they were wet, they kind of clump together when they're a little bit wet. Okay, you can do the brows too. Okay, so now it's where you're going to introduce your eye care pads, okay? So I had these a little bit cold. So that's how the package comes inside the box, 10 of these, okay, in a sachet. So as you open them, I will show you what it looks like before we remove it from the film. So when you get them, they're like this, okay, with a film. So when you remove it, that's the part that's, oops, that's gonna go onto the skin. Okay, if you guys can see that in the camera. Okay, so, and they're nice and cool right now. So it's gonna have an even more refreshing feeling. Okay, I'm gonna have you look up. They stick on the glove. Okay, we're gonna place on the other one as well. So you don't necessarily have to use the black silicone pads in this case. Sorry, they're really sticky onto the gloves, so be careful when you're handling them. Okay, how does that feel, Kip? It's okay? I might have to do. this one over.
The other one feels higher than that one.
Yeah, because it was holding the lashes down. Does that feel a little bit better?
That's good.
Okay, so now
Is this one okay in the corner?
yeah, is it irritating you?
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay. Let's see now if you close your eyes. So another thing too, so I will have to move them a little bit lower because we don't want it like crushing the, so open up again. So I'll just bring it a little bit lower. Close, perfect. That one's good. Let's do this one. Sorry, I think my head's in the camera. There we go. You don't want it pushing up the lashes because then you'll have a hard time rolling those, okay? And then press them down. Press it down onto the skin so it could start doing its magic, the treatment. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yes, you will. Shamima, yes, you will. Sorry, I was not looking at the screen, but yes, you will. It will be on the Reflected Soul Education website because it doesn't last that long in the email, and then we put it onto the website, which just stays there for you guys to watch or retrieve. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna separate them again. Okay, perfect. So now that we got that on there, that's your first part of your treatment. So they're getting that treatment going on right now throughout the rest of your service. Okay, so we're going to now get the silicone pads, and for Kippy, I'm going to use the size small. And as I mentioned, we do have a new glue out. So our previous kits, or any kit that you might have now, like might have had, was a clear glue. Sorry, it's blurred. There we go, clear glue. But now it's been replaced with a peachy glue. So let me see if I can put them side by side and you can see. The one on the right side is the peachy glue. That is the new glue. Oh, that is a new glue that's going to replace the clear glue. So with the old glue, remember we had to do that security deposit on top of the lashes because they would pop off from the silicone pad during the 8 minutes of the new lash perm solution. Well, with the new glue, no worries. It's stronger. It's a shellac ingredient, and that's why you get that characteristic of that color. And because of that shellac ingredient, it's going to have a stronger adhesive, right? That's going to keep those lashes down throughout the whole service. And then as well, you don't need to wait for any drying time. You can use this immediately because it does dry quick, okay? So I'm going to take this and put it on the back of my silicone pad. Okay, so that's the back side of my silicone pad. There's the bump, but I need to put it on the back side, okay? And once again, as soon as I put it, yes, it is. It is. Oh, I thought Katrina, you were asking a question. I didn't know it was you. Yes, it's latex free. Okay, which is awesome because a lot of people do have allergies to latex. So I'm just right now applying the glue onto the silicone pad. And you can see it does have a pretty like thicker consistency, and you go right away. So as soon as I close that lid of the cap of the glue, so there's the glue on the back side. It's really hard to tell, but it's on the, see a little shine? Just on that back side, not on the free edge. And I can go right away and apply this. So I don't have to wait 10 to 15 seconds for it to get tacky. Another thing that I do have here, but you might have to remove it during your tinting, is if you ever feel that you have maybe a little bit of like a hooded eye or so forth, and it feels that the pad is a little, because our small size pads are actually pretty big. So just to hold a little bit the skin area up, you can do that as well. Because, and I hopefully soon, I don't know if I should say it, but I don't know when, an extra small size could be a little bit more better for these shorter or, sorry, my gloves. Okay. There we go. So now we don't have to worry about that. Do you feel okay, Kippy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now what we're going, now that we have the pad on here and I put it very close to the water line, so this is a little bit showing you guys the lash lift. If you haven't tried it out yet, you can see the steps. If it's your first time. So you see how right away I can put that pad on. I didn't have to wait for it to get tacky, okay? So I'm doing the other side. As close as you can get it to the water line. Okay, perfect. So once we have that on there, then we're going to take the glue and put it on the top part of the silicone pad, just on that bump part. Close the lid. I'll do what you do, one eye at a time. And then we could use the new lifter. To try to get those precisely. Now, what I forgot to mention was you should work it in sections. So start first from your, because the glue dries so super quick, do it in sections. Okay, so I'll have to apply more glue. So with the little sharp, with the little tip end right here, I'm able to separate those lashes. Sorry if my hand's in the way, I just have to hold down. So I'm trying to do it as with enough pressure to hopefully get the water line to go over. So I'm just going to go from the front side just to see. Thank you. So this tool is great and to be able to separate those. Okay. So it's a little hard to see. I'm not quite sure why it's a little, to me the screen seems a little blurry, but it just could be my camera. So I'm just going to try and do the outer first. Let me just do it into sections. It's easier because when it dries so quick, you won't have time to reach. So you have to try to apply pressure too, right? And if you see that your glue starts to get stringy, stop and apply more glue because it means that you've overworked that area and then it's just going to be too dry. So I'm just going to do the inner corner too. Okay, it's not blurry for you? Okay. I guess it's just me. Maybe my eyes. Okay.
That's not encouraging.
No, I can see it. This when I'm looking at the computer screen, to me it looks blurry. But you obviously look clear.
Good.
So I'm trying to get it as taut as I can so that I could see that water line. Okay, so I'm just going to check this side. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more glue because I can see in the areas that, look at your client from the side, because then you can see any areas that you've missed to get lashes. If you look at the client from the top view, like if you look at them from the top like this, you won't be able to see any of the lashes you missed. As soon as you go to your client on the side, like look at the side view, you'll see what hairs you missed. Just a little bit there to secure, and then we can put the solution. If the glue is water soluble, if it gets in the eye, just get a Q-tip, dampen with water, and just remove it. But you shouldn't be getting glue in the eye. It's never happened for me because the glue strictly stays onto the pad, and it's not drippy, the glue. It doesn't drip. So you have really good what's the word called? Not malleability. You have good way of handling the glue because it won't drip. But even like when you get lash perm solution, see it's getting a little bit dry now, so that means it's overworked. I just want it to separate. Even if you get like lash perm solution into the eye, you want to first use a dry Q-tip to make that solution go into the Q-tip first, because if you put water, you might be releasing all your lashes and so forth, right? So only do the water when the dry Q-tip didn't work, and just on the Q-tip as well, the water. A little bit wet the Q-tip, and then get it into the that area and just hold it. Don't sit there rubbing anything. Just hold the Q-tip in the area that they feel like that irritation. And usually that's helped for me, because then you don't want to remove everything you've done so far, right? Sorry, I just have one more section to do. And that's why, as I mentioned, I missed showing at the beginning, it's really good to do it in sections, okay? So that you can have time to focus on each of that individually of that hair. You have time to focus on it before you apply the solution. So if you do it in sections, you'll get all those lashes separated and sitting properly onto the pad. Oh, sorry, that one pinched time. Okay, perfect. So now that we have it on there, their eyes are still getting that beautiful treatment. Now we can get the solutions, okay? So we have solution number one. Give me 1 second, can get my containers. So solution number one, what we're going to do right now is break down any of those bonds or keratin of their hair so that we can reform it, okay, with the neutralizer. That's so weird. I don't know where my... Give me 1 second. I don't know where my little rose gold dishes went. Okay. Just trying to find my little bowls that come into the lash lift kit. Okay, there we go. So we have step number one, which is your lash perm solution. Okay. And you're going to squeeze a pea-sized amount. So varies on the person's lashes. Smaller, bigger piece size depending on the layers that they have. So I got my piece size amount. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to do a little stirring. I'll show you in the screen. Give me 1 second. Okay. So I have my step number one. Okay, my piece size. And I just like to stir it just a little bit like this, just to spread it around. Okay. And we're going to apply it close to the water line. That's why it was very good that you lifted that water line so you don't have to lift the eye. So I like to apply it diagonally like this and very close to that water line so it does that push. Well, right now we're breaking down the bond of that area. We're breaking down the bonds, right, of that area so that we can reform them when we put the neutralizer. And that's what's going to give that push. They shoot up straight up and add the length. So I'm just trying to get it very close to the water line and leave the tips free, okay? Okay, do the other side. So when you flip over the water line, you avoid pulling the eye up, because if you let go of the eye after, the solution gets into the eye, and that will sting. Okay, and then we're going to leave it on for 8 minutes. The tubes that I have are 8 minutes. If anybody has sat into my other webinar, we did mention about 6 minutes, but the tubes that I have are 8 minutes, okay? So we put on that 8-minute timer, and then what I'm gonna do in the meantime is upsell, right? And I'm going to give her a brow tint. Okay, so let me put on that. Perfect, okay. So I just wanted to get one little corner of her eye there, and then we're going to do the brow tint. For her, I'm going to mix the natural brown with the graphite because she's got the nice cool blonde in her hair. And my model Kippy tends to pull red a lot, so we want to cool it down with the graphite. I'm just getting a little bit of the corner here. And you can, it's hard to tell on the camera, but I didn't go on the tips, okay? Okay, perfect. So let's tint her brows now. We've wiped up her brows. Okay, there's questions, which I'm so sorry. Let's see what these questions are. Okay, are you using a brush for application? Sorry, it says, please can you repeat? Okay, oh my gosh, there's a lot of questions. Sorry, tape was holding the pad, I'm sorry. Oh no, the tape was holding the eyes, just so that the pad doesn't start to go more down, and then I lose the water line, okay? The water line is very, very important. If I miss any questions, sorry, re-ask it so that we can get it. Okay, yes. Rhonda, thank you. Christine, thank you. Okay, Jessica, sorry, Mrs. Subs. So brush for application. I'm using the brushes that come in the kit. Okay, they come in the kit and they're numbered 1 and 2, just like your bowls. But you can also use our new Browista, which you'll have to get 2 sets. But you can also use our new Browista brushes, which are beautiful. I like to tend to use these for tinting. So you've got the silicone wand on the other end. Good for brow lamination, the silicone mascara wand. And then you got a flat tip, not a flat tip, a pointy tip that I usually like to use for lashes because I can get very close to the water, to the lash line. But then you have a flat end as well, which is good for the brows. You can tell I've overused this, right? Look at the brushes are starting to spread. I love this one. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question. I've had issues. I had to get the professor to my local. Okay, so I didn't see if anybody responded to you, Tani. The brushes come in the kit, yes. So you've got somebody that replied to you for a distributor, but if you feel like you still need more help, email me in that email. Anybody that needs help with where to purchase, email me and I can help you with that. Do you have a client sign a release form? Yes, and I've attached those into this webinar. There's a client consent form, very important. They have to do it, and a patch test 48 hours before they come in for their treatment. If you've seen on my other webinars, I do mention that, and it's very, very important. Otherwise, if they refuse to sign, they refuse patch test, I wouldn't take them. I wouldn't risk a $40 treatment that gives me a bad name or bad review because they've had a reaction or so forth, and then they can come sue you. So be very careful with that, okay? Okay, perfect. Everybody's answering each other's questions. Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna start tinting, okay? Her brows, because she still has 5 minutes on her lashes. So I got my nice little tool. If you see a lot of these, we've had them in the contest. I love it because my hands are free. I got my 2 tints. You can tell I use these a lot too. Your browns are the first ones to go because for brows, brown is very popular, but graphite has become my go-to. So you can tell I use it a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna do almost equal parts. I'm gonna do a little bit more of the graphite. Okay, and that's gonna warm down the brown. Okay, so I'm just gonna squeeze it in and I'm gonna show you afterwards. Okay, so you have the old glue. The trick is let it dry for 10 to 15 seconds, depending how much glue you're using. Because if you don't let it dry and let it get tacky, you're going to, it's going to pop up the pad from the skin and the lashes from the silicone pad. So you got to make sure that you wait 10 to 15 seconds for it to dry. And then you have to put the security deposit, and I'll show you quickly here. When you're done with the rolling the lashes up, take the glue and put it on the tips, because the tips, no solution goes on there, so that you know that those lashes are going to stay down. But you also have new growth, and the new growth might not reach to the tip. So you have to put in the center glue too. And I just dab it. After I'm done rolling the lashes, I take the glue and I just dab, 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 and dab, dab, dab in the center. That's it. Don't start brushing. Don't start doing anything. Let it dry for 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, and then put the solution. Okay? And that way your lashes during the 8 minutes of the lash perm won't pop off of the silicone pad. Okay, what kind of the sensitive tint? For what kind of clients? Obviously for clients that are sensitive to the original, clients who want more staining. What else? Clients who are pregnant, spas that are organic. That's how your sensitive will help. What color tint do you suggest for clients that have gray or white hair? The graphite. This one, the 1.1 if they're by numbers. Sorry, my tube's been used a lot, but yeah, graphite. It's a beautiful color, cool color on its own. Okay, so no matter what, if you use the oxidant or the liquid, you will get the same results. It's just texture preference. I use the oxidant cream a lot because I do beard tintings and bleaching. And bleaching, you have to use the cream. Okay, so if you're using the cream, it's 15 drops. So there's my mixture. Kind of hard to tell, but the darker one is my graphite and the lighter one is my brown. Okay, so I'm just gonna add my drops. So I'm adding 15 drops of the cream. 15 drops of the cream oxidant to 2 centimeters of the tint. And then 10 drops of the liquid to 2 centimeters of the tint. If you find that the tint is too much on the brows, that it's too much leftover, too much wastage, you can cut down to 1 centimeter, which makes your liquid 5 drops and your cream 8, because you can't really do 7.5. 8, between 7 to 8. You gotta have a nice creamy texture, okay? So as I'm mixing, your texture's gotta become nice and creamy, okay? If you overdid it with the oxidant, it's gonna be too watery. And that's why you should be careful with the liquid too. Just make sure that you're not over pumping that drop out of the little, what do you call it? The little, I forgot what you call it. The little part that releases the liquid on the cap of the oxidant. Okay, so now I got that mixed. She still has about another minute on her lashes, so I'm gonna put it on her brows. This is where you'll have to know how to control your timing properly and what step to do next, or what step to. What I'm going to do is remove the solution carefully and upward motions until your Q-tip feels like it's not as wet. Okay, so I'm going to So I'm just removing it properly, upward motions, just until my Q-tip can become dry, like it looks dry. And no need to overly like rub them. And I tried to keep it upward motion, the way the lashes are going. Okay, so let's do the other side again, the other side. Dry, yes, dry Q-tip, always dry. I have to lift this one a little bit up. I hope you don't feel. Does it feel irritated this side?
No.
Because I released the tape.
Oh, it dropped a bit?
Yeah. So I have to be careful not to open your eye too much. Okay, so once we see that our Q-tip feels that it's dry enough, then you can put the neutralizer. So on this, so now I'm going to put the neutralizer, and then we're going to do the brows afterwards, okay? I'm just going to see if there's, I don't know if you're tearing.
No, I'm okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, so now I'm going to put the neutralizer, okay? So step number 2. Okay, once we've navigated that, if there's any questions, sorry if I missed them. Step number 2, neutralizer. Bowl number 2. Okay, bowl number 2, I'm going to squeeze my pea size. This one comes out more white, creamier, not as watery or purple, so that the Lash Perm solution comes out purple and a little bit waterier, okay? This one comes out clear, creamy, okay, and thicker. So I still just do a little bit of a mix just to get that nice ball at the end, and I'm going to apply it in the same area. Anywhere else you apply it that's new area, it won't do anything. Okay, so very important that you apply it in the same area that you put the lash perm, okay? Which means you leave the tips free as well. And now is where the push is going to happen. Now is where the reforming is going to happen. So it's going to push those lashes up, okay? We'll do the other side. I might have to do a little bit of a lift. I'm just going to do very carefully. Now this is the eye that went a little bit too, we lost the tension. So I have to be really careful when I'm lifting it, but you can already see that when you let go of it, you lose a lot of that water line. So I have to be very careful with the lash perm especially, because that will irritate the eye. if it gets into the eye. So we'll do our best with this eye. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to add the 5 minutes. So step number 2 is 5 minutes. So we've got that on. We got the timer, and now we have the brows. So I'm going to apply the tint, and I know that during that 5 minutes, I could remove the tint afterwards. Okay, grab a Q-tip and just clean the area. And I'm gonna leave this on for about 7 minutes. So for sure I'll have to remove the neutralizer first. Like during the 7 minutes, I'll have to remove, because the timer for the neutralizer will be off, done. So remember somebody asked me about the sensitive. So for example, on Kippy's brows, the corners get very lost. There's less hair there. So staining the skin with the sensitive would be perfect. Because with the original, after a shower, the staining is not there any longer, right? So I'm just trying to do just a little bit, like she still has some fine hairs there. Okay, and then when the time for the neutralizer is up, dry Q-tip again, okay? With the sensitive, about maybe, I think they said maybe 5 showers. Because remember, also with the sensitive, it's just coating the outer layer. It's not penetrating into the hair like the original, like this one. Tilt this way for me, Kippy. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to remove the front of her brows first and leave it a little bit longer on the tips. Okay, so this should be almost, there we go. The timer's up for the neutralizer. Okay, so timer's up for the neutralizer, and I'm going to shut that off. I'm going to have my dry Q-tips. I just want to clean this edge here so it doesn't unnecessarily stay. There we go. Okay, so dry Q-tip. And just for time's sake, I know if other people have sat in my webinars, I don't like tinting on the silicone pads, but just because to save some time, I will tint on the silicone pad for now. But there are 3 reasons why I don't. First reason is it stains the pad really bad. Also, you can't get the bottom lashes. And third, you can't get really close to the root either, which means you can still see some definition of blonde if they had blonder lashes. So I have to lift this a little bit. Sorry, Kippy. I'm going to use a lip brush. Oh, for the staining, I thought you said for the staining, but 4 to 6 weeks we say for the tinting. It should last, and the lash lift, 6 weeks. I might have to remove it and tint properly. So I might not be able to tint on the pad because she still has quite a few solution and I want to clean it properly. We'll see. You don't want anything being in there when you're going to tint. This eye is still good, has stayed properly. So I'm just using a lip brush to get in there better. Okay, so let me do the other side. You're gonna have to lift the eye a little bit. So the brows have been on for about 3 minutes. What I can do is I can mix the tint for the lashes, then remove the brows, then do the lashes. You play with your time according to how you get your timing and your speed. You never want to start another part if the timer is going to finish for the other section, especially when there's solution on, okay? Okay. So I'm just going to mix. I'm going to do the blue, black, and the blue for Kippy. So while the brows are forming, I can do the lashes. I add the black and the blue black together to add more depth, more, in a sense, a little bit more darkness. The blue black has that shimmer to it, that gloss to it, but the black is more of a matte. So once again, your ratios, as we had mentioned, brows, usually I always condense it because sometimes brows are really thin and I don't want to have a waste of tint. Okay, so I'm just preparing it into the artist palette. See on the other side, I have another section which is good for the lashes and brows. So I finished that. So there I have my ratios of my blue, black, and my black, and my 15 drops. Dry, sorry, Q-tip is dry. It's always dry until the end where I have to add water. No rinsing yet. Rinsing happens, well, I don't have to do rinsing because rinsing I just do with the wet cotton pad after the brows, but very minimal, not too much wetness going on, okay? So I'm just mixing the lashes. just to have it ready, but I'm going to remove the brows first, okay? So what I'm going to do is take a Q-tip and remove the first part of her brow because that's where she has a lot more hair. So and then I leave it where her arch is. Okay, and I still leave it on there. And once again, still dry Q-tip. So here she has more hair. So I can essentially remove it all. It's because the other side she has less in her tip. And so I'm trying to do a little bit of a skin staining there. So I don't know if you can tell when I wipe it properly, but I could turn her. So essentially what I could have did is I could leave on a little bit. If you had some more left in your tint, you can go back and just get that section if you want it to show a little bit more. Okay. Okay, and let me mix my lash tint. So essentially, depending on how dark you want the lashes to be, we say 3 to 5 minutes is for those, sorry, brows. 3 to 5 minutes for the more natural look, 5 to 10 for the more darker look. You can go up to 15 minutes. I've kept it on somebody up to 15 minutes because they wanted that dark, and their brows were dark too. But generally with brows, you don't leave it on too long because then the look can look too aggressive. So I always check. If I have a client that's really nervous and doesn't want it too dark, I remove it after 3 minutes, one section to show them. And then if we can keep going, then I put it back on. So I'm just going to put the tint on. We just said for time sake, with a little of those troubleshootings we had. But I am going to slightly lift it very gently. Very gently. See, I let it go very gently too, because now I have the tint on it. And after a lift service, the tint on the lashes stays on for 2 minutes. So pretty quick. It accepts the color very fast because the hair follicles is open. Okay. But as I mentioned, I do like removing the pads. I don't like having them on there, okay? An hour, Philomena, about an hour. Depending on your state guidelines or even on your provincial guidelines, they might tell you they're single use. Which pads though? The silicone pads, you can reuse them, but depending on your, like that's on her for the lift, depending on your state guidelines and your provincial guidelines, they might tell you single use and you have to throw them away. The eye care pads, you throw them away after. Hopefully, is that okay, Kristen? Yes, the lash pads. Yep. So you can disinfect them if you're in Canada with like RTU, the intermediate level disinfectant. If you're using alcohol, just make sure you don't, alcohol tends to eat them away a little bit after a time. So you'll have to change them because they'll be too soft and not formable. So for the lashes, so the RTU product is much better for this material. But once again, some provinces, the health or regions, the health inspectors will tell you we want to see you using single use. So you'd have to check with that. Yeah, tint will stay in the pads. That's why I don't like doing the lash tinting on the pads. You'll see after. I always say they get this like little poopy color. And they don't look nice. If your client gets a hold of it, they might, even though you disinfected them, they might be like, they don't know. And they're like, you're putting that on my eyes? So in 1 minute, I'll remove the lashes. So I'm just doing her brows. So like as I mentioned here, on this side, she has less hair, but I tried to do a little bit of that staining. Okay. So I'm going to do it with water afterwards. Okay. I'm going to clean up the area with water. Okay. So I'm just wait another minute to remove the lash tint. Then we'll remove the pads. Then we'll do a nice cleanup. Then we'll use the styling gel. Then we'll quickly do the little massage technique. And then we are done to see how you can use these two wonderful products to elevate your lash services or any other services. Kip, you said you like using you've used the Reflectisol eye care pads, right? Yeah. So Kippy, just like myself, we've used the pads. I love them.
They're nice.
Yeah, I always get this nice cool sensation, and then my eye area feels very moisturized for the rest of the day if I do it in the morning. They're really nice. Okay, so as we're waiting on another 30 seconds, I'm gonna have my Q-tips available. Dry again, okay? Dry. The reason why it's always dry is if you put water and you get all that solution, you get solution to the eye, very, very irritating. We did talk about it being a spa-like experience. Sorry, I didn't showcase too much of a spa-like experience today. I'm so sorry about that, but you shouldn't be doing most of the stuff that happened today with the tape. It should be a very nice spa experience for them, okay? Okay, so I'm going to start removing the tint. And you'll see that it's accepted it right away. So I'm going to try and remove as much as I can of the tint before I start applying the water. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a cotton pad, a little bit of water, and I'm just going to rest it first just to see if I can get some more tint to go to the cotton pad. And then you can slightly start going back and forth like this. They will lift easily with no pressure, just light strokes. And then I just grab the end of the pad and just hold the wet. They still have to keep their eyes closed because I still got to clean some more tint.
It's in
But-
the eye.
You feel it in the eye?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a cool, she feels it in her eye, so I'm gonna put a cool, right away, just put that cool to release any stinging sensation so they feel relaxed. So she did feel a little bit in her eye. Does it still feel?
No, it's okay.
I'll put the pad again.
I think it's okay.
Okay, we're gonna do the other side too.
Mm.
So I'm gonna lay it on there. I'm going to remove this tape. I'm gonna have to hold her. It's on your brow, don't worry. It's on your eyelid. Perfect. Okay. So with this eye, I know I really lost the water line. So I know she might even feel on this eye a little bit stinging. So I'm going to get another cotton pad ready. So I'm going to remove the tape on this one too. Okay, I'm going to get two more. I am going to remove now these ones so they're out of my way. Sorry. So that I can clean properly. But this whole time they were on there, I'm sure afterwards your client will feel like the smoothness. Also, it held the tint too. See how it stayed onto the pad. Okay. So let me get some water. I'm just trying to get any more, like she still has some tint. Oh. Does it feel irritated, this one?
No.
Okay, let's do that to the other one. Try to get underneath and also where the glue was. Pay attention to release like the inner corner where there was the glue. Sometimes they try to open their eyes and they can't. Okay.
Getting a call from Celine.
We're almost done. Okay, so I'm just gonna do quickly the brows, soften the brows a little bit, and then she's gonna open up her eyes. But when she opens up her eyes, I'm gonna have cotton pads ready with cool water just in case. So because I didn't do any unnecessary staining, I don't need to use the tint remover. I'm just softening any tint that was left. That's it. Okay. Perfect. So I'm gonna get the cotton pads ready just in case she felt any irritation. She has that cool relief from the cotton pad. Okay, so Kippy, you can slowly open up. Do you feel anywhere irritated?
No,
No?
good.
Okay. So because, you know, if you, on the camera, you can't really see, but we didn't get her bottom lashes. But if we had tinted her bottom lashes too, it would have looked like she had mascara on. So that's why it's nice to remove the pad. Let me, you guys can see.
Gorgeous.
Always gorgeous. You just
So
enhance.
pretty.
Okay, so I'm just gonna brush them. Also, because remember when they're wet too, they look very clumped together. We are gonna put the styling gel too. You know what's really funny? The eye that caused me the most trouble lifted so well. It's funny how things work. Can you guys see the if I kind of tilt your head a little bit up like up like that? Yeah, can you guys see? I don't know if the light helps, but I can kind of zoom it in a little bit more. I don't know if you guys can see the effect. Oops, wrong one. It's this one. Okay, let's see now. Can you guys see it? Okay, good. Yeah. Look, wow, looks amazing. Looks amazing. Okay, awesome. So that was funny because this eye here was one that caused me the issue. And look how beautifully they both lifted, but I was worried about that side. Okay, so let me do quickly before we end our, I'm just gonna replace my gloves. I'm gonna show you quickly with the massage cream and the styling gel. Thank you guys. Thank you, Kristen. You got some heart faces because it looks really nice. Okay, so I'm changing my gloves because my other gloves were overly stained. Pretty baby blues. Your eyes could be. Okay, but imagine now if we had gotten the bottom lashes tinted, the effect would have been even more dramatic. So let's get the protection cream. I'll put the styling gel afterwards. Katrina says gorgeous, Kippy. From GW, Katrina.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so I just put a little bit of cream, and remember the little massages. You can start off. They even had some trigger points that you can try here. I don't want to put it onto the brows. So if you didn't do a tinting on the brows, you can get very close. You can get onto the brow bone, but I did a tinting, and remember 24 hours. So I'm going to just work around it. Okay. So remember how we said that nice, like almost like a lymphatic drainage kind of movement. You got the temple area that you do your circular movements. You can move it up. But just always remember that you can't be touching the cream on the brows, okay, when it's been tinted.
So the way those wrinkles.
It will help. Like it will give a little smoothness.
Need a little shot of Botox, I think.
That terrifies me. And then I'm just gonna move a little bit down, but you can also, you know how we said when you do these little vibrations too, they help the blood to resurface. You might see a lot of those tools now, our cleansers now, they're like automated. They have that vibration. They're battery operated, and they help to get the penetration of the solution of the cleanser in, or you can stimulate the blood. Okay. You can do your little, movements like this, whatever you learn from as well from your facial classes. We do like your crisscross movements, but just enough to give them that nice relaxation.
Nice. I'll just have a little sleep.
Okay, now you can snore. No worries. Okay. Obviously, when masks get a little bit like looser, we don't have to wear them during treatments. You can get the chin going. You can add a little, you can do this as an add-on service to a facial, right? And once again, you can do your little tapotement movements. Okay, and your circular movements are usually here or around this area, moving upwards. So this is what you would spend about a minute or two to do with the protection cream. And you see, I only applied it once and her skin still feels movable. You can apply again if you feel, but I didn't put that much. Okay. And that's how you would end the massage for a minute or two. You've got those techniques. I know we're running out of time, but I'm just going to put the styling gel. Very important before they leave. The styling gel. Okay. So I get a disposable mascara wand. I'm going to put it on both her lashes and her brows. Okay. So I'll start off first with the lashes. And it's going to seal in that treatment. It's also going to seal in that tint as well to be able to you know, throughout, you know, if it's earlier in the day that they got this treatment done, they're going to be outside. It will hold it into place. Okay, so before, what I like to do before I just remove as much as I can of the solution off of the mascara wand so it's more drier, and I just run over just to separate them. So I like squeezed out whatever solution was left onto so it's more dry. That way you don't have to waste another mascara wand, and just separate them. Perfect. Do you want to, oh, is that oh, they were sticking together. Does it feel sticky a little bit?
No.
No? Okay.
Okay.
So you want to like open and look up again so you can just see the final. See, with the brows, the eyes all put together. Remember before you couldn't see the brows that much. Actually turned out really good. Okay, so the benefit of the styling gel. So let me just close this out of the way. We can let Kippy, I don't know if she wants to get up. Let me just turn this camera off. Okay. Do you want help to get up? You're up. Let me see you looking at me.
Jessica, we're coming over to tape her eyebrows.
Yes. Oh, Jessica, give me better tape. Okay, so let me switch the camera. Thank you, Kippy, so much. I'm gonna put the camera back onto my end, and I'll answer any last-minute questions. Okay, can you guys still hear me and see me? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so the benefit of the, awesome. Thank you guys for your patience and your time. I had to troubleshoot some stuff and I was like, you know, had to, ooh, blurry. Okay, so the benefit of the styling gel is that it's going to hydrate, moisturize, but also seal in that treatment. So that tint that we did, it's going to seal it in so that it can last by the, like if they navigate through the day, through the weather and so forth. But if they take that home and they use it every single day, they will be able to seal in that treatment as well and hydrate. You know, after we've done a service, especially a processing service, we need an aftercare at home as well to just keep hydrating those lashes and the brows. So that's why it's a really good product to take at home. So it will hydrate, it will moisturize, it will protect the color, it will seal in the color, but it can also work as in between for brow lamination to hold those brows up. That's what I do as well. So it's got multi uses. So sorry if I wasn't, I don't know why it's going so blurry. It's weird. The camera wasn't acting like this other times, but if I didn't get to answer any of your questions or I miss any of your questions, you can re-ask them now. I can wait and I can stay another minute or two. Otherwise, you have my email. I can share the slide. So try not to, so the water doesn't really affect because you see I removed with water and I went over it. But if you're sitting in the shower for a prolonged time with that humidity, the heat as well of the water, it can affect, it can bring down those lashes. So just try to avoid prolonged hot showers for the first 24 hours, right? So, and don't be abrasive with your face. Don't use any what you call like cleansers that are too harsh or with any exfoliants onto the brows. Avoid that. And nothing with oil. So if you're going to go out this evening and put some little bit of brow filler or something like that, or on your lashes and put just a little bit of mascara to add that flare or whatever, you can't remove it with something that's oily if it hasn't passed that 24 hours. So I would be very careful. Maybe don't use a waterproof, anything that's waterproof. Okay. Thank you, Terry. It wasn't how I expected it to go today with the tape. It was my first time using it, but I knew I had to kind of use it for Kippy because always the pad it's too heavy. Her eyes are small too, so the pad's too heavy. So I was so glad that the results came out even with the troubleshooting. See what I mean? That you don't want to remove everything. If you had to remove everything, that's also time consuming. And then you're panicking too because you got to take everything off. I didn't have to take everything off. I had to learn to be calmer because I'm the type of person that at the beginning would panic. So I've learned to be calm, coach my client through it as well. And there we go. They weren't feeling uncomfortable. I didn't, make them feel uncomfortable, and we were able to get through it together and still continue with the service. So try and get into that mind frame. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Tess. Sylvia. Thank you, and Andrada. I remember that name too. Andrada, thank you. Pooja. Let's see what Pooja said. Sorry, I just lost your comment. Thanks everybody for your time. I know we went a little bit over. It was perfect and helped me understand a lot. Oh, thank you, Pooja. Thank you. So don't forget to enter that contest, okay? And don't forget to put in the hashtag, okay? I'll show you guys again before I sign off. People have been getting these products into their hands and they're really happy for these contests. So thank you, Katarina. Thank you so much for your help. I really needed it today. Thank you so much. But yes, get into our contest and make sure elevate your lash services. I know it's a little long, but get that hashtag in there, okay? And you have time. You have until April 11th, okay? I want to see your wonderful work. I want to see your wonderful pictures. I want to see you if you're in the picture holding a tube. I don't care. I just want to hear what you like about Reflectisol and how you want to execute it, okay? Thank you so much, Paramjeet. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Michelle. Thanks, Katrina. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. So to everyone, keep well, keep safe, keep healthy, and we will see each other again. Terry, if you're not on Facebook, can we still enter the contest? Leave a review. Are you on Facebook, Instagram? Which one don't you have? If you're on Instagram, do it on Instagram. Even a story. Just make sure you put the hashtag and tag us. Okay, Instagram. Yeah, do it through Instagram. Bye, Katarina. Have a good weekend. No, it's not weekend. It's Monday. Sorry. Have a good night. Have a good night. What I was going to say is you can even do a story. So if you want to put a story, make sure you tag us in it. Either it's good to tag both Reflectisol North America and Browista because a story goes away in 24 hours. So if you tag, I can see it. It stays. I know that you entered the contest. So you'll enjoy trying these products on your clients. Okay. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Thank you, Terry, and enjoy your week as well. And hopefully I'll hear your beautiful names in the next webinar as I get to know you guys a little bit more and some of you come back again and support the webinars. So thank you. Good afternoon and keep well. Thank you.